There is anyone out there who believes in the power of self-belief, Hardik Pandya is the biggest example. Hello and welcome to Revsportz. I'm Gargi Raut. We're building up to the second T20I between India and South Africa here in Chandigarh. I've come here yesterday and today is the day when India faces off South Africa once again in this series, the final leg of the series, and the action has reached its peak. If you look back on the last game, an absolute mission domination from Team India, and of course it was Hardik Pandya who was the star of the show. Hardik Pandya coming off of a long injury layoff. He got injured in that final group stage match against Sri Lanka in the Asia Cup, and since then he's been out of action. But who better to come back and make a comeback like that than Hardik Pandya? But what is it that makes Hardik Pandya so clutch? What is it about Hardik Pandya that makes him the match winner every single time that he steps out onto that field? What is it about him that brings in that much impact? I say it's the mentality. Because really, if you look at the post-match interview that Hardik Pandya did with Star, with the host broadcasters, it tells you so much about the way that Hardik Pandya thinks. It gives you an insight into the psychology of Hardik Pandya. Even though he's been out of action after being injured for so long, he believes that he can change the game every single time. He believes that every time he walks out onto that field, he will change the match. And he said, it's about those 10 minutes. You go in, you perform, and the crowd goes berserk, and I live for that. And that tells you just how much Hardik Pandya believes in his own abilities. India was 48 for the loss of 3 wickets. Anything could have happened at that point. But Hardik Pandya came in clutch and changed the game for Team India. If you look at international cricket, if you try to think of some names who have the same impact as a Hardik Pandya, there's not many that come to your mind. A Ben Stokes, perhaps. Virat Kohli, definitely. And one that I remember very clearly is MS Dhoni. I remember in an interview when MS Dhoni came out and said that every time I walk onto that field, I believe that I can change the game. I can win the game for Team India. And that is the kind of belief that only very rare players have. And that's what you get to see in Hardik Pandya. Ever since Hardik Pandya has stopped playing the test format, India has been struggling to fill that void and has been unsuccessful so far. He can bowl with the new ball. He can bring in a lot of impact in the death overs. He can give you breakthroughs if you need him in the middle overs as well. So is there anything in the world that Hardik Pandya cannot do? And let's not even talk about the effect that he has on the opposition when he comes out to bat. Even when Hardik Pandya goes out of the T20I team, India scrambles to find a backup, but has been, once again, unsuccessful. Yes, you found a Shivam Dube. Yes, you found a Nitish Kumar Reddy. But do they even come close to having even 50% of the impact that Hardik Pandya does? The answer is no. There will never be another Hardik Pandya. This is the same Hardik Pandya who rose out of the trenches of poverty. This is the same Hardik Pandya who was first sold to Mumbai Indians for the base price of 10 lakhs. This is the same Hardik Pandya who lived off of Maggi and Vada Pavs and had to travel with his brother on trucks. So if there is anyone out there who believes in the power of self-belief, Hardik Pandya is the biggest example. If Hardik Pandya goes out of the team has to get at least 2 players to bring in the same sort of impact, and that is the power of Hardik Pandya. The moot point here is Hardik Pandya is irreplaceable. And ahead of the World Cup, you need someone like a Hardik Pandya in the team. It is non-negotiable to have him in your World Cup playing 11. So if there's anything that needs to be said to the management at this point, it is wrap him in cotton wool, because you will need him for that World Cup win. And he said that day before yesterday as well, or rather in that match against South Africa in Cuttack, that he wants to add another star to the Indian jersey. On that note, we'll take your leave. We're building up to the second T20I match between India and South Africa. We will see you very soon.